You want to taco about it?
Taco.
It's not Taco Tuesday though.
Taco.
It was yesterday.
It's hump day. Guess what day it is?
Mike.
Hump day.
That's pretty good.
Oh my goodness, and we're live doing that too.
Hello,
everybody. What are you doing?
I am going to just save that right quick.
Yeah.
I'm saving it. It's okay.
We're probably still, everybody can see us. We just
They
can't
can.
see ourselves.
Yeah.
We're like
It's
really
fine.
faint in the background. We look like we're
It's fine.
500 miles away. What's up, Greg? Hey, to answer your question, I think you have to use an email platform, like a MailChimp or something of that nature, to be able to send that many emails out. To answer your question that you asked us like a couple days ago.
Yeah, on how to do mass emailing.
But I think that's how you have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know Google limits you with all of that. So hopefully that answers your question, or at least gives you a direction to go. So what did everybody think about yesterday's conversation with Frankie, man? That was powerful. That was potent.
Yeah, we were really, really glad to have him on. And like we said before, we had tried a few times to get him to come on, and it wasn't because he didn't want to, just other things were going on. And then it was really perfect timing for everybody once we did get on here live together to come in and have that conversation. And, you know, it's always nice when you are creating something or you're learning, and we learn in our own quiet spaces when we're usually alone. But then to hear somebody who's a leader in the industry in his own right to come in and say, you know, I have so many more questions and I really like what you guys are offering. Super impactful. And it's just nice to get some validation along the way that you are on the right track, because you can come in here and we can do lives for days. And, you know, yes, our reach is big, but sometimes it's after the fact when we're done and we've ended our live that's when we gain the audience. That's when we gain the clicks and the likes and things like that in the comments. So if we were to sit here and think, well, we must not be making that much of an impact because there's only 4 or 5 or 6 people. And I don't mean only as in disrespectful to the people that are showing up, because we thank you so much for being here and listening. And hopefully every time you come on here, we're bringing some value to you. But it certainly can be lonely when you're going through the process of building something that is as big as what we have in front of us. So we thought today we'd come in and talk about a little bit of something of what we talked about yesterday, which was leading ourselves. How do we lead ourselves when sometimes we're the only thing to talk to? We're the only person to talk to. And you're building something that nobody else has built, or you're in a company or a new job that you're the new VP, this is what you're doing. And there's nobody else really there to guide you. How do you lead yourself through those things? And how do you lead them with the team? It's called, in one word, what is it?
Humility?
Yeah, I would say that's a big one, because you have to set your pride aside. You have to set your ego on pause and say, okay, like as ugly as this might sound, I'm really struggling today with multiple things. It's never like one thing that hits you. It is all the little things that happen throughout. The days, the weeks, the thoughts, the conversations that you have. And then you sit there and go, am I sure I'm in the right spot? How do I lead myself out of this? What do I go to? What's the go-to thing for you when you are feeling like I need a swift kick in the ass to keep going, because I know that I need to and I want to. I'm just not always sure, what that next step is going to be.
You have to find the inspiration.
Caffeine. Inspiration comes from within yourself.
You can't motivate yourself without inspiration.
Correct.
So if you're not feeling inspired, you got to do something that makes you feel inspired, but you have to be so self-aware that you know that you're not inspired right now, and know how to go out and get that inspiration so that you can motivate yourself, because nobody can motivate you. People can inspire you, but you will never be motivated by people. They can't motivate you. So to talk about, we posed that question to Frank, how do you lead yourself? And actually him and I talked on the phone after the live, and we had talked more about that because that question really threw him for a loop. More so after the fact than when I asked the question. But how often do we really sit back and ask ourselves, how do I lead myself? Because, some of us that have held leadership positions or hold leadership positions, or maybe you don't hold leadership position. It's one thing to lead outward. It's a whole different thing to lead inward. And, that whole self-awareness that I was talking about, if you're not self-aware, how the hell are you going to lead yourself? You're just going to be going through, you're actually, road to 300, right. You're actually going to be leading yourself through your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind has a hell of a lot more space for memory than your conscious mind does. So if you don't know how to reframe, reprogram, and redo your conscious mind to fill your subconscious mind with what you need it to be, so that when your autopilot is on or questions are getting answered, they're getting answered at a higher standard, at a higher level, more productive, more self-awareness. I mean, the brain thing we could talk about for hours. Mm-hmm. Because that's a very important piece. And there is a corridor between the subconscious and conscious mind. And, if you don't understand all of that, or you find that intriguing, please research it, because it's very interesting. And it really opens your mind to exactly how to move forward. And you'll find out some leadership skills in that for leading yourself. So leading inward. It's pretty crazy, actually.
It isn't it? And what's, the truth will set you free. We talk about that all the time, but once you understand how your brain operates and some of the things that you need to process out and the way that you process information, and, sometimes we get frustrated over really the silliest things. And I am no different. I get frustrated, and then I overthink it, and I allow my mind, because I'm as human as the rest of you, I can allow myself to go down a path of, this feels bad, I don't know how to get past this piece, or I'm feeling overwhelmed and I just want to shut off. We all go through those things, especially when you're right on the edge of a breakthrough. You will get the most resistance right before something amazing happens. But it won't happen if you don't push through that. If you learn how to communicate either with your partners or your spouses or your team members or yourself as to what do I need to do to get myself out of this funk. You need to recognize it. You need to get out of that zombie state of the subconscious mind of just rolling through it or calling it is what it is, because it isn't. You have the power to change that thought process, and you can change it really fast. As long as you're recognizing that I'm in a shitty mood right now, what is it that I'm upset about? Pinpoint that thing, talk it out without judgment, being vulnerable. Don't apologize, which I did earlier, because that's just a automatic behavior, right? That's just your mind going, okay, how do I fix it? I say, I'm sorry. Stop apologizing for stuff that you didn't do. Like, your thoughts are your thoughts. You don't have to be sorry unless you've outwardly hurt somebody on purpose. You're just sharing what's going on with you. And I think we apologize sometimes, especially when we're in the creative mode, because we feel like we've had a setback. So that's why we apologize, because we're like, wow, that was a bunch of wasted time. But it really wasn't, because you got it out, you moved through it, you understood it, Your partner understands you, and now you can put it on the checklist of, I'm not going back there again. Let's keep going.
You know what that has to do with?
What?
It just came to me. So we're talking about leading yourself, right?
Yes.
So not only do you have to lead yourself with compassion and empathy, but you also have to lead yourself without judgment.
Yeah.
And if you can lead yourself without judgment, then you wouldn't apologize.
True.
Because you wouldn't be judging. And we judge ourselves because we are the hardest on ourselves. So you really should be leading, or at least learn how and gain the skill set to lead yourself without judgment. You should live life without judging yourself.
Yeah, we're all really, really good at doing that. And we do it in a less than a heartbeat. You're judging everything you do. Judge the way that you talk to somebody, the way you hung up on somebody, the way that you cut somebody off in traffic, the way you dressed in the morning, the way that you looked,
And what does that
everything.
And that has to do with what?
What?
We just talked about it. A lot of that is the subconscious mind.
Oh, yeah.
Autopilot.
Oh, yeah. Those are...
Because of all the micro and macro experiences.
Yep. Every little thing,
which
every
has
push.
created the judgment. Which
Every
actually
push.
is one of the virtues, which we talked about today, of the 200 to 300 virtues that I found. So, yeah.
Yeah. This isn't on the surface stuff. We're going to give you a quick answer, and here you go. You're on your way. This is reprogramming of past behaviors, or what we call remapping. This is a real thing that you need to go through the process of. Stop believing your own bullshit. Understanding that those are not your conscious thoughts. Conscious thoughts will drive you in a different direction. When you are conscious and you're present and you're making the decision for right now, it's usually pretty good. And you feel that difference. When you're making a decision from something that just popped up and you just go with it, that subconscious space, you're almost in a fog. You're like a zombie. You don't really know. You don't know how you feel. You don't know why you feel that way. It's all of these past memories of things that have happened to you. Like Fritz said, all the big and the little things. Sometimes things that we couldn't even pinpoint because we were too young to really remember exactly what it was. But if you can practice working backwards like that, it's really powerful to understand some of those limitations that you've put on yourselves without even realizing it because they happened so long ago in your life. But as you learn about them, you start to recognize the patterns. And that's really powerful for finding your internal inspiration, for leading yourself out of those spaces of, oh, I've been in here before. I don't like this. Where did this come from? I remember. Now I'm getting out of it. I'm picking up something. I'm listening to something different. Or you're looking at that other strong leader next to you and going, okay, here's where I'm stuck. What can I do? Help me get out of this spot that I'm in right now. Because I know I'm in a spot and you are fogged by your own thoughts, by your own feelings. You get fogged by how you're feeling, and it can throw everything off. But don't apologize for it because you recognized it, right? We talked through it and we're moving forward, and we thought that's a hell of a way to bring in the next day of leadership, is to carry on that conversation we started yesterday with, how do you lead yourself? And I would say that we really need to lead ourselves with kindness and choose our words very carefully about what we say to ourselves, because the voice that you hear internally, or when you say it out loud, you will believe over anybody else. And what you think about yourself, no matter what, is true and is what you'll get.
Which is why we always talk about believing your own bullshit.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. If you're going to talk a bunch of crap, you're going to start believing a bunch of crap. I always like to say, if you want corn, don't plant apples. You can't plant an apple tree and expect corn. It doesn't work. So it's the same with your mind. If you want to have a positive mindset and you want to be kind and grateful and all that, you cannot be talking shit. Because if you are, then guess what? You're not going to have any of that. And if you constantly have excuses for everything, well, there again, you're believing your own bullshit. You're believing your excuses. You are allowing yourself the opportunity to escape what you know is going to be difficult. This journey is not freaking easy. Life never gets easy. I hate to break it to you guys. You know, you're going to have things you have to overcome, and life is never going to get easy. But what does happen is that you get better at going through life. You get better at handling the obstacles that come in your way of life. And that's what this journey is all about. And that's why we talk about things like leading yourself or leadership as a whole, or those topics that we've discussed in the past. This is a journey. This is not a race. It's a marathon. It takes time. It takes practice. But, you know, how are you going to practice? You know, it takes just as much effort to be kind as it does to be an asshole.
I would
The
say
choice
more
is
so.
yours.
Yeah, I would say.
So, you know, think about yourself. You when you're leading yourself, how are you treating yourself? You know, are you treating yourself the way you treat others? Are you treating yourself worse than the way you treat others? You know, this is all a journey, guys, and it's a beautiful journey, and you can really learn how to have just an amazing life and really open up, smell the flowers, all those other dumb cliches. It's all yours. It's yours to have. You have all of the resources inside you. It's just a matter of finding them. And hopefully doing these lives and the topics that we cover bring some of those forth and bring them to light, or trigger them, or inspire you so that you can turn around and motivate yourself. So, you know, it's effort, but it gets easier. You just got to practice. There's no try at this. If you're going to say you're going to try something, just don't, because you can't try something. You either are or you're not. That's, you know, I used to be a very black and white guy at everything, and I've learned that there is gray, because even in my age, I still learn. But I think when people say I'm going to try it, it's like they're leaving themselves a window to come up with the excuse of why it didn't work, or why I didn't like it, or, you know, it's just do it or don't do it.
I'm going to try to work out today. I should really try that.
Yeah, I'm going to try and work out.
Try that.
I'm going to try and eat healthy.
I'm going to try not
How's
to
that
eat,
working for
I'm going
you?
to try not to eat that piece of chocolate. It's right over there.
Just eat it. Because at that point, you might as well just eat it.
You know, I'm going to try to, I don't know what else. I'm going to try to stop smoking. I'm going to try to not eat fast food. I'm going to try to meal prep. I'm going to try to not get upset about something. I'm going to try to have more patience. I'm going to, you know, it really is true. If you really take an honest look at what try is really that, like Fritz said, it's that window of, I don't have to fully follow through with what I said, because I said I would try it.
Yeah, and that could be as simple as walking by the chocolate the first time. Well, I tried not to eat it, but, you know, second time I walked through, I ate it. It is what it is.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah. Adversity strikes, man. Adversity strikes all the time, and you're going to always have adversity. That's just life.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's just what we come on here to do is to hopefully give skills, tools in the toolbox, different ways of looking at things to help battle and overcome. We
come on here because we want people to see what's really going on. We're not here to sugarcoat anything.
No.
We don't, no script ever. What's missing in the world is reality like this, like actual shit that happens, actual conversations, actual struggles, that's what we're here for. We're hoping that every single time we come on here and we speak to you, that there is something in what we're saying that you hold on to, that you go, man, it is nice to know that I am not the only one. It is nice to know that. There's some comfort in that there's some validation in that when you are working on something that is yours and you're the only one that gets it, but you know it's really powerful and it's going to bring value in some way. If you're reading books about getting your mind right, tune in here every single day, because that's what we work on. That's what we have done, behind closed doors. And we're finally like, you know what? People need extra tools that they can use. People need to hear that we have these crazy ass conversations about what went wrong. And then
we are all about the application and the results.
How we celebrate it.
Right?
You should see us go crazy when we hit a breakthrough. We dance around, pace around the room, go for a ride on the motorcycles. You have to celebrate those micro moments of breakthrough, because if you just go from breakthrough to breakthrough to breakthrough, like, you're just going to burn out. Don't think of a breakthrough when you're leading yourself. You have to be kind enough to celebrate those little tiny moments, because if you don't, you're just going to get really freaking burned out. You're not going to want to do anything else. And there's no victory. Like, you need to have those little victories, and don't think that just because we're going to celebrate this moment that we're taking our foot off the gas. If anything, it should get you more excited about that next breakthrough, that next thing, the next conversation, or the next event.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
How about you just give yourself permission to be you?
How about you just have fun?
How
Yeah.
many people don't give permission to themselves to be themselves?
Well,
Most.
I would say everybody.
So just give yourself permission to just do you. You know what? You're not going to be perfect. Ooh.
Well, and
neither are we.
It's not a license to go be a jackass either.
No.
Oh, this is just who I am. I'm just
be
an asshole.
kind.
No, you really need to.
The world needs
nice
kindness
to people. And if you want help understanding who you are at a different level, we are here to help you with that as well. We have different tools and different ways of getting you to take a really deep internal look at who you are, why you tick, and what your passions are. So we are here, our website, everything through Facebook, private message us, you can email us. We are here for you. All you got to do is reach out.
That's what the free clarity session is all about. It's not some, it's really for you to understand what exactly is coaching about.
Right.
Because you can read a lot on the internet. Obviously, the internet is a great research engine.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is there's a lot of crap out there too. And it would be hard for you to throw Kim and I into a general category on the internet as to what coaching is, because our style is way different.
Mm-hmm.
The backgrounds that we have probably are similar to a lot of people out there. The fact that we do it together, I really haven't come across any team out there that's doing that. So, we just want to have that conversation and get to know where you're at. And you get to know what we can bring. And if it works, it works. If anything, there's some clarity that you're going to have out of that. And that's why we call it a clarity session, because you'll get very clear at the end of that as to what your true goals are, what your true why is. We get to that stuff in that session. Mm-hmm. This isn't so what's your name? Where were you born? How many kids do you have? That's not what this thing is, man. So that's,
I mean, we want to know your name.
Well, of course, we don't want to call you,
Hey, guy.
Hey, guy. Hey, Gail. Hey, guy. What's up, guys?
No, but there's no fluff in what we're doing. We're coming to you with love and empathy, and we really, truly, really, really, really want you to get to that amazing space of freedom. That's what we want. We want to bring out that greatness in you. It's in there. It's in all of us. But we all need guidance in getting there because we've got a bunch of baggage that we carry around with us. It's unnecessary. So, we're here to help cut the strings, so to speak. So,
and we will research to high heaven. Well, at least I know I will. Kim's an activator. She's not a big researcher.
I'm the chief visionary officer.
Yeah, she doesn't have fun there. But she's doing it.
I'm doing it anyway.
For that, but it's not her forte. That's not where she likes to play.
Nah, I'm the fun country.
But we're getting there. We're getting it done, and you don't realize how hard some things are until you just jump off the frickin' dock and go ahead and do it. And then you realize why so many people fail.
And you'll know the point. You'll know it because you'll feel it that I don't know if I can show up tomorrow. And the beauty of all of this that's behind us and us coming on here every day is that we all go through it at different times, at different spaces, whether you're working at a convenience store or you're the CEO of a company. We all hit this space of, I don't know if I can show up tomorrow. But if you can, oh my gosh, the abundance that comes through that, the celebration that you need to give yourself for not just showing up, but contributing. Don't just show up. Don't just show up to be there. Show up and be present in that moment. Because every time you do, there's a breakthrough. There's clarity in where you're going. If you do not have clarity in where you're going, you are just going to wander in the wilderness. And that's why we start there. We will not have just general conversation with you when you come to us. We are all about the meat. We want to know where your struggle is right now so that we can spend that time giving you the best value that we can. And then you go from there. So clarity is everything. And we want to help you get there. So I think that's good for today.
Yeah.
We'll continue our leadership week. We're going to be doing some videoing tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
Forward to that.
But we'll continue to come to you. This is Leadership Week. If you have any questions or topics that you want us to hit on, please put it in the comments. Make sure that you're sharing all of our videos. We go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So if you're not on YouTube with us, please find us there. Like and share the videos. We appreciate and give so much gratitude for you showing up here with us every day. And we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you guys. Love you.